Hello, and today we are at the Vic once again. It's been a while because we haven't been to a game since Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, and that was all the way back into September. But we are going to Liverpool today. It's scary. It's match week 8. It is Watford after the international break, and it's a new era because Claudio Ranieri, dilly ding dilly dong. If we get a clean sheet v Liverpool, a dinner for everyone, maybe that will happen. But the point is, Sissoko left. Look, the Leeds performance was not good enough. It looked like a team that was just not really sure how to utilise themselves correctly. And we needed better performances. And now we've got an awful run of games. We've got now a much more experienced manager to try and just be sensible, keep the pressure on, but also make sure these players aren't overwhelmed and try and find ways to give us back a bit of identity in terms of the way we play and also the way we approach these harder games, just put in a better performance so we've got positives to take from it. So, I think this is going to be a terrible, difficult game. Of course, Liverpool are very strong. They've been the top scorers so far in the Premier League. They may not be top, which is what Chelsea are, but they are in and around that Champions League spot. So I'm worried. I am. Our record against Liverpool isn't great head-to-head, but our last two home games that I can remember very well against Liverpool, both 3-0, Igalo brace, Sarr brace. We can do it. And let's just enjoy being the underdog today, but it's going to be very hard. Liverpool are looking strong, and we've got a lot of injuries, unfortunately, and they're all to our defenders. So Josh King is also injured. We think he might play, but it will be a 50-50, maybe not starting. And also, Sarr has been ruled out, Kabasele as well. And just to make things worse, the guy we get in as a safety buffer to try and work out that crisis, Nkulu, is now also lack of match fitness, so he doesn't play for about 3 weeks. So guess what? We've got Cathcart up against the pace of Mohamed Salah, and we've got William Troost-Ekong with his distribution against Sadio Mane. So it's going to be fun, if fun is scary and very interesting. But what am I saying for this game? I'm backing Watford to lose, but I hope I'm wrong. Because, like I said, we can go into this. Ranieri's actually got a very good record in home matches against Liverpool. He's won something like 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6 games, 80% of his matches, and that's the best ever home record against Liverpool in the Premier League. So, he did it with Fulham in his first game. He got the win. He did it with Leicester, got the win, of course. That was, of course, against Sunderland when they started their title win. But I think this guy, he knows what he's doing. Hopefully, we'll just put in a performance and then move on to a much more, appropriate and relevant match like Everton away at Goodison Park. But can we do an upset? I don't think so. But let's see if we can. And I think Salah, unfortunately, inevitably will score. He always scores against us. I think we'll try and keep it tight. As long as we can keep it 0-0 for as long as possible, try and see Liverpool and just restrain them. And then can we have some more shots? We really have been shot shy. We've not been scoring enough goals. And is Imran Louaza the man that comes back in with the likes of Cleverly not always playing, and also Tabo obviously has been out for a while. So I'm going to say Trent scores first, unfortunately, from a free kick on 30 minutes. But then we go into half-time, 1-0, still a good performance, have some chances. And we've also got to factor in that Alisson's missing today, with Brazil obviously coming back late. They played a match on Friday against Uruguay. So that means that Kelleher is going to be in goal, and Fabinho is also missing out. So, if we can win that midfield battle and just try and keep Liverpool out for a long time, you never know what could happen. But I think we'll go into that half-time 1-0 down. Salah gets a goal to kind of think, yeah, fair enough, Liverpool are the better team. They'll probably win comfortably, but they get the goal on 51 minutes from the Egyptian king, who's just, in terms of form, one of the best players in the world right now. And then, of course, Sadio Mane loves a goal against us, and it could see the classic front three, Firmino, Mane, Salah all start, because Jota had an injury for Portugal, didn't play against Luxembourg, but we wouldn't imagine he'd be rushed back, and Firmino didn't go with Brazil to the internationals, so he could play. But I think Mane will be the one to put the icing on the cherry, on the cake, really, for Liverpool. 3-0, 76-minute goal from Sadio Mane's diving header. But thanks for watching my match preview of Watford v Liverpool. Just go out there, do your best. Let's see if we can utilise the pace of Sarr and Dennis. And if we do see a start for João Pedro, let's see if he can really take on the likes of Trent, Van Dijk and Cucho Hernandez. We know he's got the flair. It's a free hit, the aim. We might as well play him. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the full-time whistle.
Shoving you horns. Shoving you horns. Cucho, Kutzka. Ranieri. Whoa. Cycling GK. Come on, you horns. We might be 2-0 down, but you never know. Just got to play much, much better than that drab first half.
Just get into it. Nothing else.
Well, that was awkward. Men against boys, that's for sure. New manager, same problems. First half, awful. Second half, just as awful. And we were 0-0 for the last 30 minutes of the game. Already 4 down after 60 minutes. But of course, there's only 1 minute of added time, and we concede in that minute. 5-0 to Liverpool. Salah brace. Firmino hat-trick. I might have just been one actually from Salah. 1 from Mane. 1 from Salah. 3 from Firmino. The front 3 complete the job. New manager bounce? What new manager bounce? Alisson not playing No problem for Liverpool.
Could have had Alison Hammond in goal, but it wouldn't have made any difference.
I could have gone in goal, and it would have just been the same boring afternoon, just watching as Liverpool play around us, and we give it away, and Liverpool get shots away like there's no tomorrow. Because it finished at Vicarage Road in Ranieri's first sorry for that, first match in charge, and you're thinking, what's he got himself into? Watford 0, Liverpool 5. Yeah, the scoreline does not lie. That was a pretty awful performance, I'm not going to lie. It was just all over the place first half. Second half didn't get any better. So let's talk you through. First of all, what do we do to test Kelleher? Not enough. We took about 75 minutes to start thinking, tell you what, let's go for it. We might be 4-0 down, but let's actually start attacking. It was just every single pass today was misplaced, or we had a sharp chance but it was offside every single time. And first half, we were chasing shadows. It was honestly men against boys. We were sitting behind, as we knew we would do today. We were going to absorb pressure. But when it was a corner for Liverpool and we cleared it away, I mean, we don't really clear it away that well. These days we head it as soft as you like, and it usually finds a Liverpool player and they get a shot away again. But when we do clear it away, there's one player and there's about 5 Liverpool players surrounding him and no Watford players supporting him. So of course we lose the ball and we can't break away, and Liverpool get it back. They play it around us again. They basically were given the freedom of the pitch today, and that is worrying. You know, you think about Liverpool this season, we should have done our homework on them, watched the Man City game at least, and all Liverpool need is a little bit of space for that front three to click. And we saw it against Man City, Salah playing those passes in behind the defence, but you've got to watch the run, you've got to predict the run, and then when the ball gets to Mane, you've got to get closer to him and quicker. And Foster, unfortunately, couldn't do that, and Liverpool got their goal. So we didn't start well at all. Liverpool absolutely had us on the ropes, and we couldn't get out of our own half, and we were just chasing shadows. Honestly, we could not get the ball off them. And then, to be fair to him, it's a fantastic pass from Mohamed Salah. You know, we should not be getting him the space to cut inside and to assess his options, but he gets it with the outside of his foot, bends it perfectly into the path of the Senegalese Sadio Mane, and he didn't take long to get the goal, to get Liverpool up and running in this game. So, look, it's a nightmare start for Ranieri, there's no denying it, and we concede after 9 minutes. There's not a lot we can do about that. They ran riot today, Liverpool, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not just that Liverpool were ruthless, it's that we were just toothless. And also, we just couldn't make the passing today. It was just every time we would start to win the ball back, or maybe Sissoko would show a bit of good midfield, bite, which we'd had none of today. Then we would just misplace pass, and Liverpool just easily get back it. So, I hate to say it, but Kucho today was by far our worst player, and that is a real shame because it's a fall from grace. He was fantastic against Aston Villa. He was a sort of player who think, okay, in a relegation battle, this is what we need. We need someone that's going to go for it, that's not going to duck out of challenges, going to go full throttle. And actually, we don't mind if you go full throttle and then you get the tackle wrong, because then you learn from it. But no, instead, the whole squad, or at least a lot of the squad today, were, let's not go into the challenge. We're probably not going to win it. Give Liverpool the respect they deserve, and let's just go half-hearted into challenges. And that was, from day one, from day dot, the problem today. And, the amount of times that Kucho just dawdled on the ball. And you can't have that kind of time and space when you're playing against the pressing Liverpool. They will eat up any blade of grass and they will literally punish you. So we saw it with the second goal for Liverpool, and Firmino got it this time, and this one was just, it was good work, to be fair, from James Milner, but we're making Milner look like prime David Silva. I don't know what we're doing to allow him have that space, let him drive the ball back into the box, and they basically just walk the ball in. And it's like, we're playing so far back, And that was the opposite for what Liverpool did, because they seemed to catch us offside every single time, whereas we're literally on the goal line trying to defend, trying to soak up the pressure, and it just didn't look like we had a plan B today. And I hate to be repeating that phrase, because that's what I said under Sissoko. Look, we've got to think of it, put it into a bit of perspective. This is Liverpool, but we didn't see a lot from Ranieri today in terms of what style does he want us to play. And I don't know whether it was his decision, but the decision to make Ismaila Sarr, who is so good on the right, linking up with Kiko Femenia in that right back spot, as a false nine, as a second striker alongside Cucho today, was just, I don't know what he was thinking. So you had Cucho and Dennis and Sarr as a front three, and it was a 4-4-1-1 formation. Is that even a formation? I don't even know. But the point is, we didn't stick to that structure at all. We kind of improvised badly and had Cucho just playing just a bit behind Emmanuel Dennis. But actually, in the game, Sarr was playing up front, and you cannot see Sarr taking on the fullbacks and using his pace to their best potential when he's in that position. At times, we were getting the ball out to Kiko Femenia, getting the ball out to Adam Masina, who for some reason was playing left wing. Don't have any faith clearly in Ken Sema, who actually on his day can get to the byline and whip in crosses, which was what we needed. But also what we need is a target man. It's all very well crossing the ball in, and we didn't do it enough today. But when we do, there's no one there to get the header on it, no one to throw themselves at it and get in between those Liverpool centre-backs. And Dennis today was just absent, and Sarr the same. So we're not utilising the players correctly, and there just was a lack of commitment, a lack of conviction in the passing today. And Firmino has a tap in, it's 2-0, 37 minutes gone, and you think, okay, pretty much the game is nearly on its way to being done. So then you think, okay, well, at least don't, concede another going into half-time. We don't, to be fair, but we just didn't have a chance in that first half, really. Anything at all. And then second half comes along, you think, all right, that was painful watching, but at least let's show something. Let's try and get at Liverpool. Next goal in the game could be important. And it just shows nothing of that sort. And Firmino gets his second. Look, at the end of the day, this is an unlucky one, or you can say it's just poor awareness from Cathcart. Look, it's a good ball in, but at the end of the day, Cathcart has got to be just thinking about where he is in relation to Foster, and he slides, he does the right thing in terms of throwing his body on the line, but he slides towards it, nearly scores an own goal like Sarr did a few weeks ago, and Foster does well to react, because he wouldn't have expected that, but all he can do is push it out to Firmino, who is just going to run up and gobble up that chance. He's on that right-hand side of the pitch, he's just going to go in there and curl it in. So 3-0 Liverpool, 2 from Bobby Firmino, and look, you can say he didn't, maybe look the player he was going to be previous weeks because he got that week's rest, didn't travel with Brazil, but we shouldn't be giving this guy who's not been scoring all season a hat-trick. That's the fundamental issue. And Norwich lost 3-0, Palace lost 3-0 respectively, but we've managed to top that. We've lost 5-0, and the third goal for Liverpool was just not quick enough to get the second balls. And then what happens? 2 minutes later, we get a fourth goal conceded, and this is classic Mohamed Salah. He did a great vision for the pass for Mane's first goal, exactly like the goal Mane scored v Man City. And then this is where Mane is unselfish, but also, we managed to just let Firmino get in behind way too easily, and he gets it out to Salah, and Salah just absolutely has a fun day of it with Danny Rose. He makes Rose have a torrid afternoon, and even from the get-go, Rose looked out of his depth. We saw balls where it was just simple for Liverpool. They didn't have to overcomplicate it. Just a little ball, dink it over the top, Trent or Milner, and every time Rose was always being on the back foot. We know with Danny Rose, right, he's had a good start to the season, but his pace is not there, and that was the same problem for Cathcart. That was the same problem for William Troost-Ekong, who his distribution again today was awful. So you know, it's just like, it's bread and butter stuff, really. On paper, it's preventable, but we can't deal with it. We can't even get tight to Salah and stop him from jinking this way or that, toying with our defence, and then slotting in a really, really clever goal. So then you think, okay, right, 4-0, this could get ugly, because there's still half an hour of the game to go. But we do keep them out for at least 29 minutes. Ultimately, we weren't doing enough. We weren't creating enough. And look, at home, I know that Liverpool are going to dominate, but 23% possession, 6 shots, I'll be honest, didn't feel like we even did 6 shots. And we had two shots on target, and we were the home team. And I'm not saying that's just because we're poor at finishing, but we're giving Liverpool too much respect. Look, we took about 80 minutes to get our first corner of the game. It was just, we weren't at all in a foothold in the game, and I'm not expecting us to dominate Liverpool. Their pressing style is quite suffocating, but at least show something on the counter, some positives to take into Everton, but we've got none. And that is where the problem lies, really. So, look, we managed to concede again. It was a bit of a mishit from Sadio Mane, and Nico Williams, he comes off the bench, and of course, 1 added minute, but that's still enough for Liverpool to get their 5th goal. And Nico Williams gets it out, and it's there for Firmino to tap in again. He's had 3 tap-ins, but every single occasion, Watford sleeping defensively, and Firmino gets the 5th. And it is a awful, awful day out. So, Ben Foster, look, at the end of the day, it could have been more. I know that's, not a great excuse just to say that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it really could have been more, because Salah, the amount of times we gave him too much space to cut inside and get his shot away, and a couple of really good saves from Ben Foster, tipping it over the bar in the first half and in the second. And yeah, look, Foster's doing his best, but the team in front of him is just not delivering at all. Femenia was quiet today, got subbed off for Ngakia, and I think that was just a like-for-like change. But to be fair to Claudio Ranieri, Ngakia did look improved when he came on, but it's just no change in setup, no change in our attitude to how we're going to approach the game. 4-0 down, it's a like-for-like right back. Cathcart, look, he didn't have a good game. I think there's no getting away from it. At times, he was just very, very slow. And at times, he did do back to what we know Cathcart can do, which is just no-nonsense defending, clear it away. But, he really struggled up against the pace of Mane. Troost-Ekong, look, he also had the similar game to Cathcart in the respect that he just couldn't pass passes along the back line, and that's where there's an issue. Because if we're going to play out from the back, then we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot. And Troost-Ekong just didn't look like he had a hold on the game today. I know that Sissoko was captain. Second half, though, I'd have thought Troost-Ekong, rallies them up. I thought Sissoko played well as well. And we'll go on to talk about, in a match where we really have played awfully, who the best player of that lot was. But Troost-Ekong did look just a bundle of nerves today, and I don't know why. Obviously, the opposition he's playing against is a factor, but he still is a better defender than that, and our injury crisis at centre-back is a worry, because, Cathcart, he wasn't 100% today, and that's all we've got. Rose, look, he really had a torrid time all afternoon against Salah, and when Masina came off, that was it. Rose was on his own. We doubled up on Salah, but didn't make a difference, really. And then Rose coming and staying on the pitch was just like, oh dear, you are really in for a big one. But at the end of the game, he started to get better in terms of getting a few tackles in, but it really was damaged limitation. Dennis was poor. Cucho, we've talked about, absolutely awful. Just so sloppy. Sissoko, I thought, first half was actually really good. In a game where Watford were just struggling to even get any kind of foothold in the game, when it mattered, Sissoko showed a little bit of determination to get back the ball and try and stop Liverpool's waves and waves of attack on the counter. So second half there wasn't that consistency from Sissoko, unfortunately, but he at least gave it his all. And then Masina, look, he's not going to remember that one for sure. Got subbed off, I think rightly so. Cleverly came on, gave us a bit more. But why Masina is playing on the left of that midfield and not Ken Sema, and why Ismaila Sarr is playing not as right mid, I really don't know. So Cleverley, when he came on, did actually improve things. He looked quite sharp. He looked quite confident. But obviously, if he's going to be our main captain and Sissoko isn't, then you think, is Cleverley not fit? Or is he not going to fit in that system with Ranieri? I just don't know. But at least there's some positives to take from Tom Cleverley's performance. And then the front two. Ismaila Sarr, missing all game, wrong position, and look, he just looked like the sort of player who wasn't happy today, and I think we've got to utilise his pace better. Cucho Hernandez, though, for me, our bad bunch man of the match, because he was putting in so much effort. Now, he wouldn't have been used to starting a game. It's his first full start, I do believe, in the Premier League, and now he's given a chance, but it was just the right kind of call to start him today. Give Trent something to think about, and actually in the first half he got really stuck in and didn't mess about, so that was good. Second half, I thought Cucho again showed that, alright, he's not going to always have the quality, but at least he's got the intention. You know, at times whipping in balls, having a shot which was, you know, better than what most of the other players were doing, so that's encouraging. But we just need to see everyone around him helping him out. And then, obviously, we have Joao Pedro, who came on for Dennis. Look, Pedro didn't have enough time. He had about 20 minutes, but he really didn't impact things because it was just a matter of men v boys. And, yeah, it was just a bit of a limp game from from Watford. Not from Liverpool, unfortunately. And we're not going to remember that one for a while. So, yeah, not good at all. But thanks for watching. In a bleak game, Cucho at least was trying, but we really had a mare there. And Claudio Ranieri, we've just got to go back to the drawing board and get a win against Everton somehow.